And now for the newly established form, Ju Ippon giri. While advancing, you sense an attack from in front. Seize the initiative and execute a diagonal downward stroke to the left-hand side of your opponent's face, right shoulder, and left-hand side of the trunk. Cleave sideways between the hip and waist and execute a downward stroke. Perform chiburi to the right and return the sword to the saya, maintaining the same position. Now a closer look at the main points. Note the angle at which the diagonal downstrokes are delivered. When raising the sword above the head, the right hand should be towards the right rather than directly above the center line. Deliver the diagonal downstrokes, first to the left-hand side of the face down to the chin, then the right shoulder down to the solar plexus, and finally from below the left arm down to the navel. Before cleaving across the trunk between the hip and waist, both hands should be positioned around the left hip. Without any delay, strike the right-hand side of the trunk between the hip and waist and cleave straight across. This technique makes it possible to respond to a frontal attack from more than one adversary. The important thing is not to pause between the strikes. This can only be done through skillful positioning of the body, agile footwork, and good breathing. A lot of thought must be given to the use of the hands and the path of the blade. Ju Ippon giri. Let's look at the correct way. When raising the sword above the head, the right hand should not come directly above the center line. The right hand should be towards the right rather than directly above the center line in order to deflect the opponent's attack. When raising the sword above the head, be careful not to wave it around. The kisaki should remain pointing in the direction of the downward stroke. Do not use tsugiashi when delivering the downward stroke. Advance in okuriashi. After cleaving diagonally down from under the opponent's left arm, your left hand has crossed your navel. Upon finishing the downstroke, the left hand should stop at the navel. Note the height of both wrists when cleaving straight across the right hip and waist. The wrists are too high. The wrist should be above the left-hand side of your waist. Let's take a close look at how the trunk is cut straight across. And now for another look at Ju Ippon, bearing in mind the main points.